Welcome to Hello Baltimore County. I'm your host, Ellen Kobler. We're pleased to have with us today Kathleen King, who is the Baltimore County Child Protective Services Program Manager. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
It's obviously an important job that you and your team do. Tell us a little bit about how Child Protective Services works.
So Child Protective Services, our job is to protect children for the county. We accept referrals of allegations of child maltreatment, and then the social workers in my program are the ones that are reaching out to families and going out to homes and helping figure out if there is a problem and how they can help the whole family resolve it.
Okay, so I'm hearing a sort of a family-based approach. I know that there's a program called Alternative Response. What is that, and how long has the county been using it?
Okay, the county's been using Alternative Response since 2013. So basically, we have a CPS response, and if you think of that as an umbrella, we used to only just have an investigative response, but now we have a second track called Alternative Response. And the concept of Alternative Response is it allows us to go out and do assessments with families without having to worry about finding or naming somebody as an alleged maltreater or making an actual disposition.
Okay, so it's less of an enforcement and more of improving the situation?
Yeah, so
okay.
If there's a situation, we're less focused on what the specific incident is, what specifically happened, as to what kind of led up to it. So if you think about it, everybody has stresses that go on in their family. They have a myriad of different things that sometimes will lead up to a boiling point where somebody, will act out or do something. And usually, abuse or neglect is not about a specific incident, but it's the context is what is much more important that led up to that, and trying to help the family identify what stressors were going on that led them to the point that perhaps somebody hit a child or something else happened that normally everybody loves their kids and they don't want to hurt their children. But I think we all deal with stresses every day.
Also, perhaps other issues that are in the parent's life, substance abuse, other background.
Or even just employment issues. And there's all kinds of things that lead up to that moment. And in Alternative Response, the focus is on being able to kind of, talk with the family as a group and join with them and say, hey, what's going on? Let's sit down and look at what led up to this event, as opposed to just focusing on the event.
Okay, and so who benefits from this Alternative Response?
So the entire county benefits from it. And especially the family and the kids, because we get to kind of figure out, remember what the strengths are, look at them, kind of, look at the bigger picture and say, okay, this went awry here, and we just need to tweak this and adjust this and get kind of, back on track.
Okay, so if someone sees a child or has a neighbor, family member, where they suspect abuse, what should that adult do to try to help the child?
So anytime anybody suspects abuse or neglect, they should call Baltimore County Department of Social Services. There's a phone number that I think is going to be listed.
Okay. All right, and then they basically report to you that they are concerned.
Yeah, they'll talk to somebody in our screening department, and they will ask them some questions. They'll want to know, the location of where it happened, who it involved. They'll want some basic demographic information. They'll help you decide or help determine whether or not it's something that rises to the level that needs a CPS intervention, because our goal is not to be overly invasive, but to be able to respond when there's truly something that meets the criteria for child maltreatment.
Okay, so Child Protective Services will send somebody out into the community, into the home, to work directly with the family?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and so do you find that Alternative Response seems to have better outcomes than strictly the enforcement model?
I think I think that for Baltimore County, I think we've done, even in our investigative response, we have a very similar style as to the alternative response, but I do think that it's been very effective at being able to, get right in there, work with the family, and kind of bypass the this happened or that happened.
All right. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us today.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. And thanks for watching Hello Baltimore County. We encourage you to connect with Baltimore County government on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll see you next time.